This tent has been set up for over a month and it's just been taking a beating out here. I love this thing. As you can see, there's a ton of snow on top of this tent right now, and there's a lot of snow that's built up all around it. The tent has been holding up so strong ever since I set it up, and I am putting it to the test this winter. The shape of this tent prevents it from collapsing. It is the perfect shape. Dome, right? And it's double walled. So once I get in there and get that stove going, it's gonna be the hottest hot tent that you can possibly spend a night in. The most important thing for me to do now is to clean it all off, set up my little deck area here, and then get in there and get the night going. It's a crazy layer of ice that built up on this tent. I mean, look how strong it's holding. All that weight, the ice, the snow, none of it is affecting this tent. Got all the weight of the snow around the bottom. That's perfect. Keeping it nice and tight. No more drafts going up underneath. Now over here is the most important thing I can do for my health and safety tonight. There's a little pouch right here. You can see it's got a little stick that holds it open, and that allows for oxygen to go in and feed the stove, and not only that, keep the tent filled with oxygen, because hot tents, if you're not careful, can have a carbon monoxide buildup. Good. Okay. Everything's going to start to freeze on me here. All of my supplies. Let's go inside. Okay. So as you guys can see, it's minus 21 Celsius inside the tent right now. That's like minus 6 or 7 Fahrenheit. It's cold. You can really feel it. Like my face is pretty cold. And it's the wind, right? The wind is what gets you. Even a little breeze will make that minus 20 feel like minus 50. So, and especially because it's out of the north, really cold. So I'm going to be monitoring the temperature inside and out throughout the night so you guys can see how crazy this tent is, and even when it's super cold outside. For right now, I'm just going to lay it right in here, and you can see the proximity from the stove. Essentially, it's right next to it, but the heat in this tent is going to go all the way up to the top. These tents come with these pouches right at the top of the tent. And so if I need to dry anything out or heat anything up, I just throw it in there. And I guarantee you, when I put my thermometer up there later tonight, it's going to be insanely hot. I was in the grocery store today. Fatwood. Grocery store Fatwood. I had to buy some. I mean, you got to see how good grocery store Fatwood is. It says it's all natural. Use 2 or 3 sticks to light a fire. Non-toxic, no oils or chemicals used, environmentally friendly. Let's see. Let's see. I mean, it's from a grocery store, right? So it's got to be good. Oh, he wants to. He wants to. The old barbecue lighter, eh? Should have a Bic in my pocket. So this stuff, you can really fluff it up. Make yourself nice little tinder, right? I've been relying on these guys forever. Now if I shave a little fat wood in there, I wonder how that would do. All right, Jake. There we go. I'm going really slowly because I don't want this to take off on me and go flying. Okay. Yes. I'm glad I developed those skills in my early YouTube days. Now, let's see how fat this fat wood is. Looks like it's gonna work. That was a little bit of an adventure. It's very cold, and so yeah, Bic lighter, inside pocket, keep it nice and warm, nice and quick. I should have it anyway. A lot of you guys say that in the comments. You are not wrong. Yeah, looks like he's going. The snow's coming down, chimney, striking the stove, going to the window, and just spitting off the window because it's so hot. I'm gonna have to crank this thing. It's super cold. It's not gonna take long for this tent to heat up. I can already see the back of the stove is turning red. That means it's getting hot, really hot. And that's what you want, hot as possible. And oh my gosh, that feels so good on my hands. Holy smokes, what a great feeling that is. I wanna get rid of this snow because it's just going to turn to water in here really quickly. And I'm going to do a better job with the deck. I'm going to shovel it off so I stop bringing snow in throughout the night. And this floor is an insulated floor. Love this thing. Then I could just sweep right underneath of the insulated floor. A lot of wood I gotta process to make sure I'm not gonna freeze tonight. I don't have much here. So it's good. It'll keep me really busy. Oh, she's just taken off. That's awesome. Okay. And this has only been about, I don't know, 5 minutes, 6 minutes. And the temperature's already gone up 30 degrees, almost 30 degrees Celsius next to the stove. It is now, it was minus 21, and now it's plus 6. I'm watching it go. I'm literally watching it go up. Yeah, now we're at 7. That's cool. That's Celsius, and now we're at about 40. That's about 45 degrees Fahrenheit. So man, it is just heating up like a rocket in here. Just slow it down a little bit right there. I always wear these gloves. They're just like little cotton gloves, and they just keep the nip off of my fingers. But when it gets cold, they're useless. But it's just like if I'm going to touch something metal, my camera gear, anything like that, I won't stick to it. I won't get frostbite from that. So they're just a nice little layer to have underneath of my big mitts. They're a little bit damp, and that's why I love this up here. Those are going to be hot and dry in no time. Now, for a matter of safety, even though it's so cold outside, like I'm getting really, really warm in here now, I need to crack open this window to make sure I have enough oxygen in this tent. Look at all those layers. There's just so many layers. There we go, just like that. Just like that. Okay, I'm just gonna throw that down in there. What I do, screen, right? There's air coming through there for sure, a perfect amount. And I can roll this up for now if I want. And I know that this is gonna cause quite the draft. Things are gonna get chilly coming down this way. If they get too bad, I can just zipper this up a little bit, right? There are certain things that I always bring camping. See all these wires? I need them. I need them for my camera gear and whatever else. I do have my cell phone here, and there is a bit of signal. So just charge it up. I have a small power station here just to boost everything. I camp with that stuff. I always bring antibacterial wipes. Always. These guys, I love them. If I'm handling meat or whatever and I don't have like water or whatever to wash my hands, I'll just wipe my hands with these antibacterial wipes, toss them in the stove when I'm done. Regular wipes, just regular old-fashioned wipes. And these are great for wiping things down, like the table, my hands, if I just, just want to wipe them with a regular wipe. And if I go to the bathroom, nothing beats a wipe. Also, this tent, look at all these pouches, right? So everything's organized. It's like, oh, here's my wipe section and my W section, wipes and wires right here. What else do we have? In case my snowmobile decides it's not going to start tomorrow, this will boost it. It's like a jumper system that you would use on a vehicle. I can open up the hood. I can attach this to my battery. I've done it many times. You guys can see I got lots of power there, right? And also, there's a really nice light on this. And look how bright it makes things, right? Like really bright. And I may even use this later tonight just to kind of like give me that extra bit of light because it gets so dark here. Also, I got this little survival kit here, and it's always in my backpack. And I got this in Goose Bay from a very special subscriber. You know who you are. And yeah, I'm always carrying the survival kit with me. Headlamp. Love these headlamps. This is a, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a Garmin or something. Black diamond. And it's got a bunch of different settings. Turn it on, right? That's like the nice wide light. That's like a red light. I don't know what you would want to. And then that's like your more direct light. I also always carry my first aid kit with me. This first aid kit lives in my backpack. Right there. Camera gear stuff. Put my light in there. I know my light's there. I always carry lots of water. In these situations, I usually just grab a couple of water bottles, 2 or 3. I've got like 3 liters here tonight. So that should be plenty. And if need be, I can just melt the ice or the water. I can melt the ice water. I always have a fire kit. Although this, you guys know, is still not. I mean, it's warm in here. It's still not going. Oh, there it goes. Yeah. So I always have a little fire starting kit. That saved me today, right? And I've got a couple of plates, a couple of cups. I got some utensils, some stuff to cook with, 1 frying pan. Okay, I've got the temperature balanced in here pretty good right now. It's about 26 degrees Celsius, 80 degrees Fahrenheit next to the stove. I'm still not prepared to put it up high yet. I'm going to wait till later tonight when it gets really cold outside and you guys can see how insanely hot these tents can get. I find these little dinner tables just perfect for camping in small spaces. You can fold it up, put it away. It'll go underneath the cot tonight. And, well, look, just great little setup. Okay. Coffee. And yes, I'm drinking instant tonight. A little bit of instant coffee. Keep it simple in these situations. And it's very, very hot in here. All of that coldness that was in my body is just long gone. Like I feel like I could take off all of my layers right now and I would feel a lot better. But I don't want to do that because I got to go outside here in a minute and I'll just be layering back up. But I will get away from the stove a bit. It's so hot. And I can't have that coffee without a couple of cookies. Now the secret to the great cookie, chocolate chip cookie, you take it out just a little bit early and let the pan do the cooking. So if a recipe calls for 12 minutes in the oven, take it out just after 10, just a little bit after 10 minutes, 10 seconds, 10 minutes, 20 seconds, and just take it out and let it sit on that pan. And it won't dry out. It won't get too crunchy and crispy. You're going to have a cookie like these cookies were made yesterday, and they still have that break apart, nice and soft, perfectly cooked texture, and the flavor is unreal. They're amazing. First day, second day, just as good. That wind, it's getting really cold. Keep the heat in. So this is all the wood I have for the remainder of the night. It's an emergency situation for sure. Luckily, I have a plan. Behind this tent, somewhere in here, some life-saving stuff. Really old lumber that's been sitting around for years. This lumber was used in the original construction of the original tent that sat on this platform. And they're all like the same length. A couple here a little bit longer. I've always known this day would come when I'd be scavenging this wood to keep myself warm. It was the plan from the start. And I know some of you are saying, hey Jay, use that wood for something. Build something with it. I mean, I have lots of projects on the go already, and I have lots of wood to work on those projects with. I mean, I'm not going to burn through all of this tonight. There's some nails in this too, I got to be careful. But it's like a little, honestly, it's like a treasure trove of wood. It's like never ending. Never ending. And they're all maybe about 2.5 feet long. And right underneath of all of it, I've buried here, is, be very careful with my fingers. This is the ridge pole right here. This is the pole that was at the center of the tent. I'd imagine it's about 12 feet long. It's crazy how cold it is right now. I can really feel it. This wood, with all the nails and screws in it, whatever, I might as well use it for this. These pieces are perfect, perfect length, so much heat. I've never been the best with a saw. Like I'm weak with a saw, I gotta say. I'm way better with an axe. But I just kind of had a moment when I was ripping through this wood. I would love to be able to have something that could just like lock this in. Right now I'm just using my boot on top of the wood. I'm pressing it down and I'm going for it, right, with strokes. Off the time I do this. Right? But I noticed just now that see how fast that was? Wow! What a huge improvement. Slowing it down, but more deliberate. Like I know that these saws are made for the backstroke, right? The pull. The pull is where you get all of the action, not the push. But just slowing it down and being really deliberate, minimal strokes, minimal calories burned, effort put in. Just like that. I mean, come on. Okay. Open it up a little bit, get a little more heat going. It's great with this. You can really fine tune how much heat you want. And the further back the food is on the stove, the hotter it is. A lot of people say, your stove is messed up. Why is the chimney right at the front? And I've explained this a few times on the channel, but there's a baffle in this stove. It's almost like a second top right here. A second metal top inside, underneath of this one, right here. And there's an opening in the back. You can see the flames go this direction. The smoke and the heat curls around that second layer, that second top, and then it curls this way where there's an opening, and then out the chimney, right? If you look straight down here, you're just going to see about that far down a silver top, because all the heat and all the smoke curls around and comes back up this way. And why do they do that? Because it allows for a really efficient burn. I can really fine tune the heat with this. It's excellent. And so the more I come out with it, the hotter this gets. And so I don't mind. I could overcook sausage all day long and it's still going to be great, right? So I'm just letting it do its thing, because no one wants a bellyache from uncooked sausage. I know quite a few guys who went camping and ruined their trip by eating uncooked sausages. Oh yeah, that's good. Look at that. Perfect. Yes, sir. Only takes seconds. Beauty. Look at that. For a sausage dog, mustard. It's the only one that I must have on a sausage dog. But I also love a bit of ketchup. Just found out today my local A&W is closing. That makes me a bit sad. I do like a good A&W burger. Gotta say, I do. Papa burger with bacon, extra cheese. I don't know if A&W's big in the States or whatever, but up in Canada, it's a great little fast food hamburger place. I find it superior to McDonald's. 3 sausage dogs. That's a lot. Now these chips, turkey dinner by Lay's. Man, they're good. Very good. I don't know if you've ever had roast chicken chips before. Love roasted chicken chips. So if you like those chips and you see the turkey dinner chips, you won't be disappointed. And the roast chicken, I think they only come out like once a year. When we were a kid, they were a main chip. Ooh, that's a feast. That's a feast. Look at that. Look at that. That's a lot of carbs and sausage fat and sausage and chips going in my belly. Going to keep me super warm tonight, because it is getting cold out there. What's your favorite fast food restaurant when it comes to like burger joints? I feel like McDonald's reigns supreme in terms of how much power it has, but I don't think it's the best. It's just really fast and easy. I love Harvey's. Love Harvey's. I wish we had one here. I do like A&W. And yeah, but I don't mind McDonald's. I don't mind Wendy's. I'll have a Dairy Queen burger. I don't know what you guys have in the States. I'd love to hear about some of your favorite burger joints. And the reason why I'm talking about burger joints while I'm eating sausage dogs is when I was putting the ketchup on the bread, on the bun, it reminded me of ketchup going on a hamburger bun. And then I thought about our A&W closing and this whole little conversation here. It's almost like scrubbing it with salt. If you get really good dry snow, works perfectly. This pan was a wreck when I came out. Now look at it. Pretty good. Not perfect, but definitely pretty good. Works well. Look at all these trails. It is nuts around this tent. Bunny tracks everywhere. Everywhere. Like, I've never seen so many. They are all over the place. Look. It's crazy. I wouldn't be surprised if there are some bigger animals around here, because these tracks are nuts. Yeah, it's just never ending. Bunny tracks all over the place. I doubt I'll see one tonight. They probably know I'm here right now and talking about them. But it's crazy. Okay, it's currently minus 27 Celsius outside, so that's almost minus 20 Fahrenheit. The wind chill, according to Environment Canada, is minus 38. Now here's what makes this tent great. If this tent was single walled, I'd be able to feel the heat from the stove on the outside of the tent, but I can't. This tent feels like minus 27. And if you look at the top, there's still a lot of snow that has not melted. Even right here, even right underneath the chimney, there is still ice and snow. You see, this is the big difference right here. Like even this, the outside layer, I can feel the cold, right? But here, it's really warm. This insulating something with just air is genius. It really is. That's all it takes to have this material be so cold on the outside and this material be warm. Even right here in the corner. On the inside, look at that. That is frost building up. But, like right there too, on the door. But that's the outer layer. You don't have to worry about that. The outer layer is doing that hard job that just a single layer tent would have to do. So while that's super frosty down there, I'm just gonna separate myself from it. And this tent, like I normally leave that open because it gets too hot in here. Even though it's almost minus 30 Celsius outside and the wind chill is almost minus 40. This, I mean, it's gonna cook me out. And I know I'm just like really going to town on this, but there's nothing like it. Back outside, the temperature is dropping really, really fast. Where are we here now? Take a look. We are almost at minus 30, minus 29. So that is minus 20 Fahrenheit. That happened really quickly, like within the last 5 minutes. Oh, So nice. Sticking your head out like this. It's beautiful. This, you can hear how cold this outside part of the tent is. And it's like a thermos, right? You have a thermos and you have a really hot drink in it. The outside of the thermos feels like just a normal temperature, right? It's like whatever the room temperature is. And that's the way it should be. If the outside of the thermos was hot, then you'd know that you're losing heat. The heat is getting to the outside. Out of here, it's cold, right? It's cold. Inside, it's warm. It works just like a thermos. It's really cool. Now, despite the ability to crank this place as hot as I want it, water, I don't want it hot tonight. Personal preference. I want it nice, cool, if anything. And I love the double sleeping bag system. And I did it originally with this sleeping bag here, but it's small. So I have a new internal sleeping bag that I used at my other tent. I grabbed it, made sure to have it for this adventure, and it should fit right inside this sleeping bag perfectly. This is my new thing this winter. This is a -15, this is a -10. That's -25. The double layer is going to make it feel like probably a -35 sleeping bag. Worst case scenario, if I get cold, I'll throw this bag right on top, an extra blanket. I love all the heavy layers. It feels great. And like I said, this is my thing this year. Now, the one thing I love about this sleeping bag right here, this one on the outside is huge. It's an oversized sleeping bag. It's made for someone 6'5", and it's very wide. So that means it's going to have lots of space, more than my other sleeping bags, for an internal bag. Right? Tons. And that's what I want. I want as much space as possible for the internal bag. I finally replaced my old boots. I had the same pair of CKX boots for about, I don't know, 7 years. And I had a huge hole right here. Burned them. Too close to the stove at night. And so I went to my local snowmobile dealer and said, hey, you guys got any CKX boots? And they had these brand new model, -85s. And they're the lightest things you ever put on your feet. I'm not sponsored by these guys, but I will tell you right now, it's the best boot. I think the only other boot that I would ever want would be a bunny boot. The original military boot, the American military wore. And it's like filled with crazy wool. It's got like a little button you press on the side to release air for pilots. If it gets too much pressure on your foot, you can like release the air. I believe that's how it works. Anyway, loving these things, man. Yes, yes. Oh my gosh, that is so good. Oh, that is excellent. I had a really comfortable sleep last night. I ended up putting on the third layer, and it is so good. Oh my gosh, it made a huge difference. So warm, like really warm. And I put my toque on, and that is like the ultimate heat for a bald guy. These are the liners with my boots, and they were frozen, right? They were pretty frozen because my feet were sweating all day yesterday. And then they just froze. The bottom of the tent is really cold because I just had that stove shut way down. And now that I'm letting the place heat way up, take these out of the boots. I should have took them out last night, to be honest. I threw them up in the top, but I didn't. So this is what I do. Take the boot or the liners. Don't hold them too close to the stove, right? If you hold them too close to the stove, they might melt. Just get a bit of heat to them. Melt any of that ice in there and warm them up real nice. So that way when you pop them on, oh man, it's the best feeling. Yeah. Oh. Look at that. Perfect. Couple little tricks can really change your outlook on the day. Minus 30, wind chill minus 42. Oh, that's some nice looking corned beef hash. That is really good looking right there. You know, when I was cooking it, I wasn't so sure. But now that I see it on the plate, I know it is very good. And the best thing for corned beef hash, like, I wish there were some carrots in this, maybe a little bit of celery, just like jazz it up, onion. But this is it. This is the thing for me that takes this breakfast to the next level. Gotta take a bite of this. Very good. Okay, well that's it everybody. I had a great time. A really wonderful time. Coming out here at sunset, getting everything set up, just experiencing this tent in the extreme cold, having the warmest sleeping bag system. I mean, it was just the most comfortable feeling in that bed. It's hard to describe unless you've been in a really, really thick sleeping bag, a nice pillow, just you cocoon in, and it's the feeling. It's just the feeling. You feel the warmth come back up against your body. It's so wonderful. I really enjoyed that. And just being here, talking with you guys, and having a fire, and eating good food, and doing the wood, and just being cold, and being hot and cold, and hot and cold. Awesome. A really enjoyable evening. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. I'll be back really soon.